Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped, back from the OBTC video, and in today's video, doing a bit of a showcase of the new PvP legend, Caesar Clown. Legend? Caesar. He finally got a legend, and lo and behold, he's actually a PvP legend. So, very strange, but at the same time, he does kind of shake up the meta just a little bit with how powerful he actually is. Now, he has a very unique mechanic, where if you have 3 scientists, Logia, or Zoan characters on the team, he actually gives himself 100% cooldown at the start of the quest. So you can basically start right off rip with a Caesar special. As you guys saw there, we just got it off in the first 6 seconds, which is just absolutely crazy. Now, I did do a video already where he's kind of a bit of a clown over on the Dex team and the challenge fight they actually proceeded to give us. However, today we're taking him on Cerebrals, and Cerebrals are just disgustingly strong. Like, this particular character has just skyrocketed Cerebral into the top 3 best characters in the game. This particular team you see here, I basically just plucked from the PvP data sheet, and it worked incredibly well. Like, the synergy this team has is absolutely disgusting. Caesar's ability to give 100 seconds of damage over time level 3 works insanely well with characters like Usopp and Lilith, with characters like Nami Karina in the rollback, with characters like Dragon, who can also give rollback, and then Cyber Koala just being your absolute dominant big hitter that just tears through lineups. Ever since I saw the PvP abilities of Cyber Koala for the 6+ when it was released, I always knew this character was going to be an absolute demon in PvP, and you put them next to Dragon, giving the haste and the cooldowns and all that fun stuff. You could just do wonderful, wonderful things. But they're not the crux of the video. We're talking about Caesar today. So I did a few multis. I'm actually getting on the 8th multi after doing the discounting, getting absolutely shafted. I got 3 Ginny and Kumas. I actually don't think I've released that short, so I'll make sure to try and put that on the channel if I remember. Got absolutely shafted, and then was talking to some of the boys, talking to some of the homies, and I was saying how strong Caesar actually is, and I was like, all right, well, like let's throw some multis and see what happens, and probably did a little bit too many, but at the same time, he's very, very good. And I will have another video coming out a little bit later with some other team builds with like driven centric, mainly Lucci comps, but I feel like he works best synergistically wise over on the Cerebral team. He buffs Dex, he buffs Cerebral characters, he gives him some pretty nice stat bonuses, but the big draw to him is that fact that he gets that 100% cooldown, and he basically does what Pika does in Pika's passive, but with his special, and then gives damage over time as well. However, you can stack this in multiple ways, because Caesar on his special gets this, and it just allows you to just get a lot more versatility with the defense down, the attack down, the special, Jesus Christ, the special cooldown reduction, and it just all works out very, very nicely. So in a nutshell, I think Caesar's probably going to work the best over here on the Cerebral team, like I said. But you can run him on Dex, you can run him on some funky stuff, and the beauty of PvP right now is that you don't have to run these bespoke, full synergistic-based teams to get the most out of a character. We've seen the rise of S-Snake, Pika, Cross Guild, the 5 Elders, and how they kind of work on these really wonky-based teams and get a lot of value out by buffing or nerfing the enemy, and then buffing your main hitters or your main carry characters to just do wonderful things. But the synergistic properties that this Cerebral team has, it just all works so damn nicely. The rollbacks, like I said, you have 4 characters on this team, or 3 characters on this team, sorry, that are doing rollbacks in Nami Karina, Usopp, Lilith, and Dragon, and 2 of them are also lowering defense. You partner that with the lowering of defense that Caesar gives as well, the damage over time that he gives, just doing like chip damage, and then the haste ability that Dragon gives to Cyber Koala, like I mentioned earlier, to just blast through those very low defense enemies. It works so nicely. One downside to this particular team, though, is that you do lack a lot of defense, which means that you are getting hit pretty hard by normal attacks, and characters like Dragon can die very quickly, very fast, and very easily, which can be a bit of a problem with getting that Cyber Koala special off to just blow through whatever's left of the enemy's HP after the damage over time kind of does its thing. But all in all, the Cerebral team, it's a lot of fun. Like, it's become a lot of fun, and if you have Dragon at 150 or have spent posters or done something like that, like, you can just do some scary, scary things with that level 150 super special. Overall, though, Cerebral, like, it's definitely one of the top 3 teams in the game now. I think strength is starting to be debunked a little bit. It's definitely starting to struggle, and it's kind of on the cusp of not being in that sort of top echelon. While Cerebral, it's just making waves and just getting up and up and up. When you have a character like Cyber Koala just doing stuff like that, it's kind of nuts. And to think that Saba Koala is working better on this team than a character like New Year's Sabo, a Super Sugo Fest character, it's actually kind of wild. But overall, like, the damage output that Saba Koala has is just so damn nice. You also give yourself cooldowns with Dragon. He can also do a bit of damage himself, which is great. And like I said, when you partner the chip damage from Caesar, the damage from Dragon, and then that massive shot from Saba Koala, you're essentially just blowing through the first 5 characters and then just allowing your rollback to take care of the characters on the bench. I think up until this particular point, I don't think we've seen the enemy use a special once. On top of that, they've always been in like negative defense. They've always had very low attack, and they just haven't been able to penetrate or do anything to our front lineups. Because Caesar's obviously lowering their cooldown, you're getting the rollback stats, you're lowering defense with 3 characters on this team as well. So it all just works really, really nice. The team can actually be improved as well if you have Jinbei, the PvP legend. Throw him on the bench over something like York, for example. I just have York here because I needed another character on my team, and I had a spot for a 20 cost unit. Inuyasuma is pretty important because obviously he's a Revolutionary Army unit. So if you lose, say, I don't know, Nami Karina early or something like that, and then you need to bring in Inuyasuma for some more damage, you can actually get him to work quite nicely with the haste that Dragon can give to those Revolutionary Army characters. So we're going to wrap it up with a bit of a Caesar versus Caesar fight. This fight is basically like who can get their Caesar off first, because Caesar doesn't only give damage over time, but he allows you to avoid damage over time as well. So as you guys will see here, when his Caesar goes, we'll still take the speed drop, the defense drop, all that fun stuff, but the damage over time doesn't get inflicted. So we're just now in a spot where, okay, now he's taking a little bit of chip damage for the next 100 seconds, where we're not taking chip damage, which is very, very nice. And the upside to taking on a character like Caesar is that Dragon's actually building up that super special quite nicely. Problem with this team as well is that you're rolling back specials and slowing the enemy down so much that you don't ever really see the enemy hit you with a special. So therefore, Dragon's not really getting that super special charge. So he's not ever going to really get that super special off. However, it's not needed. Like, as you can see there, like Saba Koala is literally killing 3 to 4 units, sometimes even 5 units every time the special goes off. And especially if they're the last unit in your chain, like your special chain, to go after the defense drops of Nami Karina, the defense drops of Usopp Lilith, and then having Saba Koala go with the haste of Dragon, you just, like I said, you're tearing through anything they hit. And then you're just, again, getting 2,000 chip damage from Caesar, like every single time the enemy tries to attack. Because you're rolling back specials all the time, that chip damage is just a constant flow of just 2,000 damage, 2,000 damage, 2,000 damage, and then lowering the defense as well. Don't actually know. Let me know in the comment section if you guys know the answer to this. But if the defense is lowered, does the chip damage do more? I don't think it does because it's like a level system. But level 3 isn't like level 10 like Blackbeard, but at the same time, just getting, like I said, 2,000 chip every single time the enemy tries to attack is very, very satisfying. So that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you do, but like button, hit the subscribe button. The rise of Cerebrals is here, so if you see them as a defensive team, do not be baited, because they can do some pretty scary stuff. But like I said, if you enjoyed the video, but like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Loads!